Hey guys, I made a video because it's been like a really long time since I wrote about the epidemic that is going on. And we all know what epidemic that is. Anyway, I've been really tired of hearing the same question asked over and over again, so I wrote some stuff down, maybe give outsiders a little insight, maybe help somebody. Anyway, you can share this. I hope you do, because I hope it does help somebody, a family member, or somebody who is struggling. Anyway, here we go. A letter from an addict. Hi, my name's Beth, and I'm an addict. And I've said those words more times than I can count, and I'll be saying them for the rest of my life. Many people don't understand what it's like to be one, to have to surrender and admit that there's something wrong with them, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. To ask for help makes many people feel weak or embarrassed or less of a person no matter who you are. It's our own egos that says we're stronger than this person and that person and we can help ourselves. Why be a burden to someone else? There's so many times I've heard people say, how many people have to die before this epidemic ends? Before you get your shit together and stop doing it too. Hell, I've even said it myself before I got wrapped up in that life. As someone who's been on both sides of the tracks, from using and hurting people closest to me, to being hurt and seeing the chaos and destruction it causes family and friends, both sides suck. But I think it sucks more when you're the one causing the damage, not caring what happens or what the consequences are, and then getting sober and having the reality of what you did and who you did it to hitting you in the face like a massive tidal wave. Emotional roller coasters. That can be enough to make somebody want to kill themselves. And trust me, I've thought about it more times than I'd like to admit when I first got sober. And sometimes I still struggle, but I now have tools to get my head out of that frame of mind. Family and friends who don't have the addiction problem wonder why it's so hard to stop, and look down on the people who don't, not truly grasping the concept that when you become so physically and mentally addicted to something, you can't just stop out of nowhere. You have to be forced. Jail or rehab or hospitals or death. Death. Death when you're so wrapped up in something so insidious, you could actually end up hoping to die. No death of friends or family is going to be enough to make you want to stop. No, wait, I lied. You can want to stop, but being an active user is much like being possessed by a demon. You have no control over anything, not even your own actions. The chemical imbalance in your brain no longer acknowledges right and wrong, but only knows what it has to do to survive. Human beings have 3 or 4 basic instincts we use to survive: eat and drink, sleep, and sex. Once you become an active user of a drug that can swallow your whole life up, using takes the #1 spot on that list. It honestly wipes the whole list clear and becomes the only thing on that list. Because we're scared to death of the withdrawal, the most painful, uncomfortable, and haunting feeling in the world, enough to drive the most sanest person mad. And I'm sorry about my grammar. In fact, it could kill you. Benzos like Xanax, Valium, Klonopin, and Ativan, and alcohol withdrawal can kill you. Opiates like heroin, Percocets, Oxys, Vicodin, Methadone, even Suboxone, withdrawing from them will make you wish you were dead. You turn into a person you never were, and you end up hating yourself in your heart because you still know that you're not that person. But it's a kill or be killed type of mentality it turns into. By no means am I asking for sympathy. I just want to try and help some people understand. Some people think it's all about willpower, which isn't exactly true. You become a slave to your own self, to that demon you created. Our choice is no longer our own. And if you tell an active user to stop doing it because you don't understand what's so hard about it, then I should tell you to go take several laxatives and will yourself not to shit. It's not possible. That's what happens inside an active user's brain and body. You can't will yourself to stop, you have to be forced to. And even afterwards, you need maintenance. And no, I don't mean substituting one drug for another. You need to keep working on yourself mentally after the physical withdrawal is over. If you relapse, it's because it's a choice. It's because something didn't work. You gave up. Something happened in your life that caused a mental fallback or even a celebration. Because we learn to use over every good and bad thing. We need to find new and different healthy things to do as an outlet of happiness or depression. Living sober becomes something we have to relearn. Did you know that it can take a month or more of sobriety to clear our head from the fog and start feeling things again? Did you know that it takes as little as 18 months for our brain chemicals to go back to normal? Did you know that drug dreams never go away? They just get less frequent. Did you know that being addicted to things and getting sober can have lasting effects on a person's mental health? Schizophrenia is a very real thing, among many other things, that can happen after you put down a drug. I'm not making excuses for anyone, not even myself. Yes, it was our choice to pick up a drug in the first place, but people make mistakes. And sometimes our mistakes have lasting effects on us and the people who love us. The thing I hate most is when a non-addicted person consider themselves better than somebody who is an addict. It should be no secret anymore that addiction has no discrimination. Whether you're black, white, or yellow, rich or poor, big or small, old or young, from convicts to police, from lawyers to judges and nurses and doctors and me and you. It happens everywhere, every day. It doesn't make somebody a bad parent if they can't get clean. Once they go to treatment or jail and come out and do the same stuff, it's because they're not doing something they're supposed to be doing to maintain sobriety. But it does mean the kids shouldn't have to be around to see it happen. It doesn't matter if a person's upbringing. My parents blamed themselves and thought they raised me wrong, but to be honest, I had a pretty great childhood with the best parents I could have asked for. But a series of events starting in grade school made me check out mentally and emotionally. And that doesn't mean I'm weak, nor do I want anyone to feel bad for me. Also, did you know that from the age you first put any drug in your body is the age you stop growing mentally? I first smoked pot at 15, which would explain why I'm still very immature for a 29-year-old. I'm 20 months sober, so mentally I'm like 17 now. Anyway, I did my damage. And now as a result, I'm paying for it. I have false teeth. Only 7 real teeth in my mouth. I need to get blood work done every 6 months to make sure everything's still hunky-dory. I've been in jail several times, and honestly, it saved my life. In the beginning, I hated my father because he wouldn't bail me out, but it was the best thing he could have ever done for me. I relearned how to live sober, and I can't thank him enough. We still have our arguments and our disagreements, but that's okay. I don't use over them today, and I think that's all the thanks he would ever want. This epidemic isn't going to stop. Not as long as we keep ignoring the issue or pushing it to the side because they're embarrassed of themselves or family members. If you have a loved one who's still young, ask them how they're doing, if they've had a good day, if they ever need someone to talk to, and not shun them away or make them feel bad or stupid for feeling some way about things. Anything. Every life matters. And kids need to be shown that every day from the people that mean the most to them. Educate and love them. Because if they feel they can't approach their parents or friends with any pressing issues, then there's a good chance that they will later resort to something that will get them out of their own heads. Be it Overeating or lack of, drinking, drugs, sex, nicotine, gambling, anything that will give them that dopamine rush of feel goods. Encourage them to be different. Don't make them feel bad if they are. Encourage them to follow their dreams and let them know nothing's impossible. This epidemic can one day stop, but leaving it to schools to have a DARE program come once a year isn't enough. Kids aren't stupid and they're very impressionable. And what they grow up seeing or hearing or learning does make a difference. Thank you for letting me ramble. If you're struggling with an addiction, please reach out to somebody to talk to. Don't stay up in your own head. If you know someone who's battling addiction, hug them and tell them you love them often. Don't give them any money or anything to feed their habits, because they may get arrested for having to take it upon themselves to get money, and that may be the very thing that saves their life. Point them in the direction they need to go get help. I mean, if they want it, that's basically all you can do. You can't force somebody. You can't. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. You can lead a person to rehabs and recovery, but you can't keep them clean once they're there. Once they're over detox, they have to truly want it for themselves. Not for their kids or their family, but themselves. There is a better way of living, and it is possible, I promise you that. I urge family and friends of addicts and alcoholics to go to a meeting, not ones that are meant for family and friends, but a real meeting. There you can learn how your loved one feels or has felt, maybe give you a better understanding of them. If you're like myself and struggle with the ideas of God or a higher power, I just ask you to go to a meeting, a good meeting with good people and lots of recovery time, and just feel the positive vibes and loving energy in the place. It's what keeps me coming back. Don't feel bad or awkward for going to a meeting and thinking everybody's looking at you and judging you for being there, because I promise you, they're not. We are looking at you, but feeling so much love in our hearts, happy that you made it inside. Don't let your rock bottom go any deeper than it has before all your I nevers come true. How deep do you want your rock bottom to get? Get this while you can before it gets you. Inspire others to do the same. Love and understanding and education will change the world we live in. Hate and dismissal and ignorance will only destroy it. My name is Beth, and I'm more than an addict. I'm a wife, a sister, a cousin, a friend, a daughter, an aunt, a godmom. I love animals. I like sports and volleyball. I love the weather. I'm smart and caring and always willing to learn. Most importantly, I'm a human being, just like you.